Hey guys, thanks for clicking through. Glad the ad resonated with you. Obviously, I'm Craig from Thriving Tradies. We're going to talk about one of the most important things in any business, but it's particularly relevant to construction. It's getting paid on time. Why isn't it more relevant to us? Because so many people don't pay us on time. So we end up getting to be a pretty skeptical and jaded bunch because we're used to people screwing us and we're used to not getting paid, and we generally know the pain that causes. The last people to get paid are usually us. Well, also the ATO. And the ATO will stay silent for a long time, but eventually they will come and knock in and things can get really nasty. Supplier terms drag out. And the suppliers will just put you on stop credit. So that causes problems with your other clients who are paying on time because suddenly you can't supply them materials. You can supply them money. You don't have any to give them. But then even you guys, and the guys are the worst. They have to be paid on time or they will generally walk. I've had carpenters, a leading hand who I was paying 120 grand a year, who called me on a Thursday because pays hadn't gone in. The Monday was a public holiday. So all the pays instead of on Wednesday were going in Thursday. Hey Craig, where's my money? Haven't been paid. Man, public holiday, everything gets pushed back. I can't come to work. Why not? I can't afford to put petrol in my car. Are you kidding me? This guy's on 120K and he can't afford to put petrol in his car. No. Staff generally in this industry live hand to mouth. They can't afford to keep showing up if you don't have the money to pay them. So life just starts to deteriorate if you're not getting paid. It has a huge impact on everything we do. So we're going to look at really simple techniques to get you paid on time consistently. Because once you've got that cash flow coming in, life turns around. You really can get to the point where you can comfortably pay yourself. You can comfortably expand into other things and grow your business with other systems because you've got the cash flow there to do it. Those stresses, and they are the things, financial stress is the number one cause of marriage breakup in Australia. Financial stress keeps us awake at night more than anything else. So if we can solve this one issue, it frees up brain space to start focusing on the other things that we want to do in life and in business. So let's jump into that. The very first thing I want you to do is on every single invoice that you send out, have these magic words. This is a payment claim made under the Building and Construction Industry Security of Payments Act. I'm going to tell you that again in a sec, but here's what you need to do. I would hope you're using Xero. If you're using some other system, okay, use Xero, it's better, especially for small business. It's fantastic. If you're not an accountant, you're not a bookkeeper, it is intuitive. It just lets you figure it out. Go to settings, invoice settings. Down the bottom, you can put it in the tiniest 0.6 font you've ever seen. But it has to have those words. It has to invoke this special act. This is a payment claim made under the Building and Construction Industry Security of Payments Act. Now, what is the Security of Payments Act? Security of Payments Act is a bit of legislation, a law that was created to protect subcontractors. It was to get them paid on time. There's two really amazing powers that you can use in that. The first one is adjudication. So if you don't get paid, rather than having to go to court, and the courts are all blocked up thanks to COVID, and they will be for years because there's this massive backlog from them. They're all shut down and things are taking a long time. Even prior to then, cases could take 6 months to take to court. And if the other side wants to delay it, they could drag it out for 12, 18, 24 months. You don't want to wait that long. You can go to adjudication and get a decision within 15 days. Once you put in that payment claim, the client has 10 business days to give you what's called a payment schedule, which says, I agree or I disagree with the amount that you have claimed. If they don't do that, they are legally obliged to pay you the full amount of your payment claim. You can get a court ruling for that says they must pay. They cannot enter a defense. They can't say, oh, but they haven't done the work. Tough. They can sue you for it later and say, hey, he claimed 30 grand and I've paid it, but now I want 10 of it back. That's fine. But they have to give you the 30 grand today. And they won't sue you for it later. They'll come and try and negotiate and settle. You can have that against their name as a bad debt, against their name as a court finding, which will stop them getting credit and all sorts of nasty stuff. So it is a really effective and quick way. If they don't put it in a payment schedule, happy days, that's amazing. If they do, you can get adjudication, and adjudication you can get as a fixed fee, depending on the amount. There's a way that you can do that that's quite a low cost, and it's very, very quick and effective. If it's a bigger amount, reach out. We'll talk to you about putting you in touch with the right solicitors who will get that through and get you some really good results. The other thing you can do under the SOPA, which is Security Payments Act, under SOPA is that you can suspend works. So if they haven't paid you, you can give them notice that says, I'm going to suspend works. You have to wait 3 business days. After you send them that notice, you can yank your guys off site, right? Now, while you're off site, any costs they incur, they're tough luck. They can't charge you for saying, I lost money here, or that didn't work, or I had to fix this. Tough, not your problem. In addition, if you incur any genuine costs while you have work suspended because they haven't paid you, you can charge them for that and they have to pay. So if you've got guys teamed up and they're ready to go and you don't have other work for them, the cost of those guys can be stung onto the builder. If you had to go out rurally or regionally and you've got accommodation, anything like that, you invoice them for, they're required to pay it. Now, obviously, suspending works can seem harsh. I can give you a really simple template. In fact, we'll put it on this landing page if you want it. If not, reach out and we'll show you what it is. It's a nice fluffy one. It says, hey, Mr. Client, love working for you. Isn't the world fantastic and full of unicorns and rainbows? You know, life's great, you're a good client and all's good and works on sites, blah, 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 right? It's fluffy. And it says, you'll know working in construction that cash flow is critical. Obviously, definitely for us as well. We need to be able to pay our staff and we need to be able to keep doing that to trade and pay our suppliers, otherwise we can't give you materials, etc. Unfortunately, you're now a little bit late with paying this, and we understand that things happen, but please understand the situation we're in, and that if we don't get paid on time, we start to have reliability issues with suppliers and our staff. So regrettably, while we do love working for you, if we don't get paid in the next 3 days, we're going to have no choice but to suspend works under the Security Payments Act. Again, you have to use the magic words. We'll have no choice but to suspend works under the Security Payments Act. Hope you understand. If there's any issues, please feel free to give me a call. Happy to discuss. All the best, loves and kisses, Craig. Right? It's very non-confrontational. It doesn't say, mate, pay me or else. It doesn't say, I'm going to deck you if you don't. It just says, mate, blah, 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 we really need the money. So sure you understand, help us out. If they call you and want to chat and say, hey, can you give me an extra 2 days? Sure, whatever. You can say whatever you want. Once you've given them that letter with the magic words on it, I plan on suspending works under the Security Payments Act. That's it. 3 days later, you can walk off site. Once they pay you, you don't have to walk back on site until 2 business days have passed. Now, this is only effective where there's more work to be done for the builder. If they don't need you for the next 3 months, they don't care, right? But it's really effective when you're partway through a project. It's really effective when you get to the next stage of a project. They want you to come back on site. You won't be there until they pay you. So that leads me to the other thing I'd say is invoice early and give them progress claims, right? You have got a right under the Security Payment Act to progress payments. So that means after you first walk on site, 20 days later, if it doesn't say anything else, it's got to be at least once a month in their contract. But if it's not at least once a month that you can invoice, then 20 days after you walk on site, you can send them a progress claim invoice. And every 20 days thereafter, you can send them a progress claim invoice. They are required to pay it. They can't go, oh mate, you can't invoice them to the end. Not allowed. They have to allow you have a right under the Security Payment Act to progress payments. Now, invoicing is one of those things that often gets left to slip, right? The client's calling you, where's my quote? Where's my quote? Where are you on site? I need you guys here. All that's urgent. The invoicing is often important, but not urgent. No one's ever yelling at you to give them an invoice, right? It is so important, guys. You need to make time to invoice. Don't let it slip, because every day later that you invoice is a day later that you get paid. So just make the time to invoice. Please get those invoices in, because then you can start taking action on them if you don't get paid. You can't fix your cash flow issues if you don't get the invoices out. You have to get those invoices in. So invoice early. The next thing I would say is follow up early. And you can automate this. So get a text message out to them 2 or 3 days before you're due to get paid. Don't wait until the day or the day after, or a week after, hey, where's my money? Send them a text a few days early. Hey, just making sure that you got my invoice and confirming that that's going to be paid next Monday. If there's any dramas, please give me a call to sort out in advance. I'd much rather know and work with you beforehand than find out afterwards when everyone's tempers are getting frayed. You can use plenty of systems on your computer that will automate that for you, and they integrate with Xero 3 days before your invoice, bang, they get a text. On the day of the invoice, an email, again, automated, goes out. Hey, just a reminder, following up, that invoice is due for payment today. We are counting on it, so please let us know if there's any issues with this. Loves and kisses, Craig. Yeah, follow up. Again, you don't have to be doing this. This can happen automatically. Xero's got some really good things in there that let you follow up. If it doesn't get paid, get that suspension of works notice out there the day after it was due. You don't have to suspend work after 3 days, but you have to wait 3 days from whenever you send it. So get it early. You know, hey, we didn't get paid. Lofty, softy, not confrontational language that doesn't get in anyone's face. And again, it's gone by email, but it just says to them, this is really important, and you've got that gun in your pocket if you need it. You don't have to suspend works, but if you need to, you can, right? And then knock and ring and tap until they pay. That great Red Cross ad, we're gonna knock and ring and tap until you do. So start, hey, where's my money? Where's my money? Again, you don't have to do this by picking it up and go, where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my money? Set it up so the SMSs and the emails keep on going and going and going and going and go to everyone involved till you get your money, right? The last tip I would give you guys is the power of reviews. So jump on Google reviews, jump on Facebook, jump on every other platform you can find. If they're dealing with customers, it looks really bad. This person doesn't pay their subbies, and tell the sob story. Because of this, I haven't been able to pay my staff. I've had to max out my credit card to get them paid. We haven't been able to go on holidays. I'm not able to do this and that and the other because they haven't paid me on time, right? Put that out there, and at some point they'll go, hey, can you take down the review? You didn't pay me on time. Why should I? What do I get? I'm going to charge you penalty interest for that. That may not work immediately, but as soon as they next need a client or a subcontractor to work for them, he goes, dude, what's the go with this review? Suddenly, that puts the power back in your seat. So that's just something to have out there. But the most important thing you can do is on every single invoice. This is a payment claim made under the Building and Construction Industry Security of Payment Act, right? If you come along and join up with Thriving Tradies, we will show you how to use that for adjudication and to make sure you keep this cash flow coming in when it should. We turn self-employed tradies into businessmen and entrepreneurs. And what we mean by that is you've got to shift your thinking from that self-employed tradie who goes, mate, if you don't pay me, I'm going to knock you. It's not really effective, not as you grow as a businessman. What we need to do is get you thinking that you can grow and scale your business, and you can do that with successful cash flow, amongst other things, that sees you being able to hire more guys, pay them, pay estimators, pay admin staff. You need that cash flow there. So this is one of heaps of stuff that we